let's create a folder for our example that is going to be Rx example. Let's point in our terminal to this folder, and now we go to, by the way, this is a GitHub repository of RxJS. So I stay here a little bit so you can copy the URL. Okay, so this is a website, and from here, well, this is all the documentation, the explanation. The full library, it's in this file, rx.all.js, but I have to say that for a JavaScript file, this is huge. It takes, let's see if I can open this in raw. So look, the size of the scroll. So it's a very big library with many dependencies. Okay, so you can use the whole library with all the cool features, or if you know that you will use certain parts of the Rx library, then you can choose like the light version with a minimum set of features that you can use and so on. Okay, so there are several ways to, well, they explain more and more stuff from this. I really would like that you take a look on all these examples once you are interested on this topic. So let's install this. The way that we will do it is with Bower. So we can execute this in our terminal. So let's go here and paste Bower install RxJS. This will take a little bit. Okay, so it's doing it. Yeah, in my case it was really fast because I have been downloading this previously, but in your case it could take up to 3 minutes or more. So, okay, let's clean this and let's go to our example file. We can see here that once we execute the Bower, we have a public folder, and inside we have a library with a lib folder with all the options. As I said, there is many options for using Rx. We are interested right now using the rx.all.js. Okay, so let's open Visual Code Studio. I have it already open in another screen, so wait a second. Here it is, and let's drag the folder so we can start working on this project here. And inside the public folder, let's create a new file. So this is going to be our index.xml. And from here, I'm going to copy the standard HTML5 way of starting index. So nothing new, pretty simple and straightforward. Let's put it like this because we will use just a few stuff. So from here, we are going to say that we want to use a script source lib. Let's open this. Yeah, RxJS, the distribution file folder. Sorry, and from here we want to use the rx.all.js. Okay, so we close the tag, script. Okay, so now that we have successfully imported our Rx library, let's create here just a script, JavaScript. Okay, so I'm going to start coding an example here for you, and I hope with this it gets pretty simple. What is the concept behind observables? So let's say that we have an array of values. Okay, it's empty, and then we are going to use the library observables from Rx to observe the changes of the values in time of this array. So let's create a variable observable, a new observable from the library RxJS observable of array changes of what? Of our array. So with this, the only thing that we are doing is that we are creating an observable. So this is a string of data from the array, from the changes that are happening to our values. Okay. Once we create the observable, anybody in our application can subscribe to this observable. Let's say that we write here subscribe. Yeah, and we need to pass a function to be executed. Remember the fat arrow. If you don't know what is this, you should take a look on the TypeScript fat arrow video or the ES6 ES6 fat arrow video that is available in this masterclass. But here we are executing a function, and every time that our array change a value, this function here will be executed. So let's keep it simple and let's print on the console res.object res index. I will explain this when we are debugging, so it's going to be easier for you. And let's say that we put set interval to make this infinite. We create a function with the fat arrow again, and every second we will add values dot length plus 1. Okay, so every second we will add a new value to our array. So just keep in mind that this is happening later on in the app. What I'm saying with this is that we can modify the values at any time in the application. It doesn't have to be next to the subscribe. Actually, this code is totally independent from the observable. Okay, so let's see what happened with this. And let's go to public and let's execute the index. So we go to the console, we inspect this, and let's restart. So 1, 2, 3, and this will keep like this forever. 6, 7, 8. So what is happening? Let's take a look here in the source code. Yeah, so we start, let's put a breakpoint. Okay, we create our values array. Nothing new, this is just a standard JavaScript. Then we will create an observable from this. That means that anybody in our application can subscribe to this, right? So let's see what is in the observable. Yeah, nothing. We just have a subscribe function. Okay. So here we subscribe our code to the observable. Let's put a breakpoint here. And then we will repeat this function infinitely every 1 second, adding a new value to this array. Okay, happen 1 second. So we add a new value, and then we are here. And let's see if I can print this to make it nicely for you. Yeah, so in the rest, the result of this, every time that we add a value, we have had a new value in the array. We have had this value in the index 0. Our object at this point looks like this, and well, we haven't removed anything. So let's make this run for several times. I'm going to clean here so we can see how it continued running. Okay, let's put a breakpoint, let's say now. Okay, so we did it in the 12th position, and here we are. So we add 1 value more in the position 13, and this is the index. This is the latest value. These are all the values that we have been adding to this array. So this can keep infinitely. And hopefully with this example, you can see the potential that now it's not a promise because you don't have a then here, and you are just modifying the source. you are not telling observable everything, something has changed or anything. So this part of code is totally transparent to everything else that is happening. If this were our user that comes from the database and we put a observable, there are many observables. This is for array changes, but there are observables for objects, for JSON, for strings, and for many things. So if we are, for example, observing changes in an object, then several parts of the application can react to this differently. So hopefully with this you can see the potential of the RxJS library. It's important to mention that Angular 2 is deeply integrated with observables, and actually if you come from Angular 1, in Angular 1 we have the digest cycle and we have the scope. All this was removed because of observables, and now we work in a totally different way and we can avoid the scopes and the digest cycle. Everything in Angular 2 is working with observables, so it's super important that you learn this. So see you in the next video.